Just off the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. First and 10, Eason. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
Number 83.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The 20. Touchdown, Titans. Jonnu Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
On the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And it's 3rd down.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He finds his target, it's Crowder. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good. And looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
That one a first down pickup of 8. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun is Issa. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Through the sideline.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
To 2nd and 10.
Play action. It's Issa. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
57's the mic. Rock 57. 57's the mic.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Down to the 25.
Melvin Gordon on the
Bryce Hall there defensively.
ball on the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The sack by Jordan Willis. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
McCann's kick up and good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they've been moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken about 7 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
Guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Darnold finding Perriman there for a New York first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Elliott. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
The tackle made by Jayon Brown. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
Titans 10, Jets 7.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run with Elliott. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A first down carry by Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Darnold completes it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that will be incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jordan Willis picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Escaping the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
New York.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Jeffrey Simmons.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Stephen Gostkowski on for the field goal.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Bryce Hall on the stop.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A first down carry by Elliott doesn't amount to much, as he'll get forward for about a couple.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up. Well, they set the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
Now it's Darnold. Flushed out right. Fourth down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage.
Incomplete on the throwaway.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away from the 6. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. On 2nd and 12, Darnold sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Touchdown.
A big play there. 77 yards. And the Jets will extend their lead. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flushed from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Gostkowski for the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Jets 20, Titans 10.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Eason. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. 20. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll try again with Elliott. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Here's Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Ezekiel Elliott, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead.
That drive, they really increased their cushion. Felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
We're on Tennessee.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. The throw over the middle taken in. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Eason going to throw it out of the shotgun. Eason in trouble, and down he goes. Quinnen Williams, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. At their own Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
They go to Elliott again. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
On the carry. He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Jets on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. 3rd down, Elliott. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
Now 4th down.
Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense is just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they got an answer for it.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Got the 1st down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
A pickup of 2.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
The tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Taken in at the 11. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Titan football.
At their own 16-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 15. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and
back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Gostkowski's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
On the pickup.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Got Gordon open, completes it. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 41-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. On first down, Jacob Eason. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
They'll throw on first down with Eason. Able to get this to Gordon. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. By Jonnu Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And that will cut this lead down to 13.
Makes the score.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And did the Titans get this? Yes, Tennessee football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They're in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. He's going to let it fly. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will shrink to 6. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Jets, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.